Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to this card making project, and in this project we're going to use some of the Griffin pocket embellishments to make a gorgeous vintage style card. It's quite a quick card, and if it wasn't for me chattering away it would probably take half the time, but I think it'll give you a different spin on being able to use the embellishments for inside and outside your card. Everything I do use I shall put a detailed description on my blog, so please be sure to check that out. There's so many more projects on there as well. If you've got any comments, please feel free to comment on my blog or on Facebook. You can comment on YouTube, but I can't reply to you on YouTube. Okay, so that's housekeeping over. So let's be creative and make a gorgeous card. The card base that I'm going to use is one of Anna's Pretty Layers cards. It's a 7x5 inch card, so it's perfect for me, with me loving this size. I'll show you how it looks on our cardometer. Now this is the 7x5 inch card, so we can see that the largest size on our cardometer is the A4. Then we've got the A5, or for my friends across the pond, the A3, which is the A4 folded in half. And then we've got the 7x5, and that's the size that we're going to be working with. Just to give you a perspective and an idea at home of what size it is. I'm using my trusty bone folder to make sure I've got a nice sharp crease along the edge, because even though these are factory created, when they're scored they don't always have that nice sharp crease, so we want it to stand proud on a mantelpiece, and that just gives it a helping hand. So the first thing we're going to do is the inside of our card. Now this is quite a simple inside, but very effective. So the first thing that I've done is, even though we're working on one of the Pretty Layers cards, I've taken some ivory paper. Now this could be paper or cardstock, whatever you've got in your stash, and it doesn't quite match the actual inside. So it's a deeper ivory that I've used, but that doesn't matter because I've inked the edges, so that will draw the eye into the insert. So, you know, don't get hung up about it having to match. It has to be the same one. If you are that way inclined, that's fine, but I just like to use what I've got to use, basically, and if I think that's going to work well, that's how I roll, as it were. So I've inked the edges, and that will draw the eye in, but it does make it look as though you've gone that extra length just to create a pretty inside, because the outsides are always so pretty, so why shouldn't we create pretty insides as well? So I've cut the layer to fit inside. I've inked it around the edge with a deep pink ink pad. That could be any ink pad. I must admit, I've been trying some new ink pads, and they're not from Anna, they're a different range, and this is one of them, but you could use any ink pad you've got to create just that little bit of colour for the inside. So I've stuck it in using 3D flat tape. Now next what I've done is I've taken two of the embellishments from the pocket embellishment cardstock die cuts kit. I've taken one large floral, and I've taken one of the pretty tag sentiments, and I've just trimmed the tag sentiment slightly, and then I've taken them through my Xyron machine. I was going to say my die cutting machine. I've taken them through the Xyron machine to get adhesive on the back of them, and I've already broken the adhesive bond around the edge so that I can simply peel them off from the backing carrier sheet, and then once you're finished you can discard of the carrier sheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the flower, and then I'm just sneakily going to slide the tag underneath the flower, I think about there, and then press them down. So that's why I've trimmed the tag, so it'll just go underneath the flower and sit flush in our card. And that is our insert finished. So we've still got enough room for our message to and from, and maybe a little note. So that, I think, will match perfectly to the front of our card, and it's still really, really pretty. So now we can go to the front of our card. I'm just going to use my bone folder again to make sure I've still got that nice sharp edge. And then we can start creating our gorgeous card. Now, I'm not going to add layers and layers to this because we're going for quite a floral and picture kind of card. And this again is from the Pocket Embellishment die cut kit from Anna. And they're a little bit different because there's bases and there's foiling and there's the birds and all the florals in the kit. There's a very good mixture, and I thought I'm going to use these little birds because they're just so pretty. I've inked the edge slightly in a darker blue colour, and then I've got double-sided flat tape on the back of this, so I can simply peel off my tape, and then we can add this to the front of our card. And I'm going to add it on an angle, just slightly to one side, like so. There we go. Next, I've taken one of Anna's glitter stickers, and I'm going to peel the back of this away, and then we can add our glitter sticker, and I'm going to add it again at an angle across the base of the card, like that, and press it down. If at any stage when you're using the glitter stickers, if you feel that it's not going to stick for you, just add a little bit of glue on the back. I think it does depend on where you live. I know a few people have said to me that they've had problems sticking them down. I had problems. There was one day when the humidity was quite high here, which you don't expect that in the UK, but it was. So I used a touch of glue as well. So it's no great hardship if you just have to add a touch of glue. So the next thing I've got is one of the tag sentiments from the Pocket Embellishment kit. Now, I don't know about you, but when I see a tag with a hole in it, I just have to put ribbon through the hole. I can't leave it with just a hole. I think I'm a little bit pedantic that way. So I've put a little bit of ribbon through the hole. I've stamped the tag, as well as it having the foil sentiment already. I've stamped it using one of Anna's flip card sentiment stamps. If you remember the fantastic flip cards, there was an extra set of rubber stamps, and I found that these fit perfectly on the inside of the tag. You'll have to check them to see if they all fit, but the one I wanted to use, Wishing You the Happiest One Yet, that fit perfectly. So I've stamped that in a matching blue ink, and on the back I've got foam at the top but flat tape at the bottom. So I'm going to position this slightly at a reverse angle to the little bird background, and I'm going to attach it like that. So the bottom bit is flat and the top bit has the 3D foam underneath it. Then I've taken two floral embellishments, again from the Pocket Embellishment kit with the die cuts, and I'm just going to add these at the bottom of the sentiment on our card like this. Shall I do them the other way, she wonders? Like that. And they're on 3D foam, and I'm just going to press them down like that. And then to finish the card off, I've got a little blue bow that I'm just going to put across the flowers towards the bottom of them, and that is our card finished. So if it hadn't been for me chattering, it would be a lot quicker, but you can see how quickly you can put it all together. So that's our gorgeous inside that goes so well with our outside. It stands up perfectly, definitely to go on a mantelpiece. you won't need any extra padding because in theory we've actually only got one layer of decoupage, even though it looks like we've got quite a few layers on there. And it just looks so pretty. The pink and the blue goes so well together, and the touch of peach, and then that brings in the insert that's got the deeper colour in the flower, and it just all works so well. But all of Anna's products do anyway, so who are we trying to kid? We like using them all together. So that just, I like that card. I love the little birds. So I'd just like to say thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time.